Good afternoon. Happy Thursday. I have a few things at the top, actually quite a bit at the top, and then I'd be happy to take your questions. So just a few items to pass on. Earlier today, the Secretary spoke with Israeli Prime Minister of Defense, Benjamin Gantz. The Secretary underscored the close partnership between the United States and Israel on a range of mutual security issues and emphasized our continued support toward Israeli security. A full readout of the call is forthcoming and will be posted on defense.gov. As a reminder that tomorrow, Friday, the Secretary will depart for a trip to Canada, Indonesia, and Cambodia. In Nova Scotia, he will deliver keynote remarks at the 2022 Halifax International Security Forum, centered on the department's efforts to build a more resilient security architecture in concert with allies and partners across the Indo-Pacific and Europe. He will also meet with the Canadian Minister of National Defense, Anita Anand, to discuss the close defense relationship between the U.S. and Canada and the importance of strategic investments in defense capabilities. From there, Secretary Austin will travel to Jakarta, where he will meet with senior government and military leaders. His visit will drive progress on key bilateral initiatives to support interoperability, capability development, and professionalization and modernization of the Indonesian armed forces. And finally, in Cambodia, Secretary Austin will participate in the 9th ASEAN Defense Ministers Meeting Plus, alongside 10 other member states and 8 dialogue partners. A few other announcements here. Next, I'm happy to announce that Marine Captain Kelsey Hastings will make history next week when she becomes the first woman to command the Marine Corps Silent Drill Platoon. Captain Hastings is a native of Seattle, Washington, and was selected to serve as the Silent Drill Platoon commander for the Marine Barracks Washington 2023 parade season. She will assume command on Monday, November 21st, and we wish her well. On a note on exercises, since November 10th and concluding on Saturday, Indo-Pacific Command's 1st Island Chain Stand-in Force with the 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force is conducting Exercise Keen Sword 23 in several locations in the Pacific. This field training exercise will increase the readiness and interoperability of 3 MEF and our Japanese and joint force partners in order to protect and preserve regional peace and stability. This biennial exercise will test Marines and their Japanese counterparts in command and control of maritime strikes and amphibious force actions. This demonstration of stand-in force capabilities provides assurance to our partners and allies of readiness to rapidly counter aggression in the region. And just 2 more items here. I'd also like to announce a scheduled multi-carrier operation. 5 Allied aircraft carriers are currently operating in the Atlantic Ocean and the North and Mediterranean Seas as part of their regular scheduled activities. Participating forces include carrier strike groups formed around the French Navy Charles de Gaulle carrier, the Italian Navy ITS Cavour, the United Kingdom's Royal Navy Queen Elizabeth, and the United States Navy's George H.W. Bush and Gerald R. Ford. These operations present an opportunity for allied nations to coordinate credible combat power throughout the Euro-Atlantic area while showcasing NATO cohesion and interoperability. It is also an opportunity to test allied cooperation and to practice NATO's deter and defend concept across all geographic areas, operational domains, and functional areas of the alliance. And just very lastly here, and finally, I want to acknowledge some very important news that just came out of the U.S. Senate today, as they confirmed Rhiannon Workala as the Assistant Secretary of Defense for Legislative Affairs. With the Senate confirmation, Ms. Workala will now be able to play a leading role in making sure that Congress works with the department to pass 2 critically important pieces of legislation, which includes the NDAA and an end-of-year omnibus appropriation before the end of the calendar year. We would like to thank the Senate for taking this action via unanimous consent, and we are especially grateful to Senators Schumer and Tester for their work to confirm Ms. Workala. And as I noted last week, and with today's confirmation, we now have 11 highly qualified civilian nominees still awaiting Senate confirmation, and we urge that the Senate confirm these nominees, who will play a critical role in managing our recruitment, budget, and physical health of the force. And with that, I will take your questions. I'm going to go to the phones first. I think we have Lita Baldor.